はい。大丈夫でしょうかね。はい、どうも、こんばんは。月海いたちです。本日も月海ライブやっていきたいと思います。遅刻ですね。本日も遅刻をして始まっております。最近ちょっと1時2時の時間が多いですけども、決まってないのでね、なるべく早くやる時もあるかもしれないですけど、土日もしかしたら早めに配信といっても11時ぐらいかもしれないですけど、始めるかもしれないですねという感じで、そこら辺は未定になっております。今回は以前やりましたハーストーリーの第2弾やっていきたいです。第2弾つうか2回目の続きをやっていくんですけども、前回までの謎を振り返りますとですね、どうやらこのゲームは、確定し、もう内容自体はほぼほぼ確定していて、ハーっていうのは要は、彼女、取り調べ室だと思われる場所の録画記録を閲覧して、事件の全容を暴いていくみたいなゲームでした。物々の動画を検索を駆使して、ワードを駆使して検索して該当の動画を見つけて、その単語に関する情報を得たりだとかするんですけども、これがまた複雑でして結構入り組んだ内容になってたなということで、実は裏でテキストでまとめてたりもしてたんですけど、これが全然断片的でまとまりがないんですね。とりあえず分かったのは日付が一応動画の記録で記されてたりはするんですけども、その日付を追っていくと事件、行方不明になって、そのサイモンっていう男性が行方不明になったんですね。で、この彼女の、旦那さんが行方不明になったと。で、それを捜査するのに取り調べを受けていたのが、だんだん、死体が発見され、事件の取り調べという感じの内容になっていて、次第には、彼女が、ほぼほぼ犯人であるという、状況の映像まで流れていましたっていうところは見たんですよね。で、その中で、サイモンであったりとか、ヘレンっていうサイモンの妹の、あとイブっていう、彼女の幼なじみがいたんですけども、そこら辺が何やら、過去と現在で彼女が殺害に至る動機の一因なんじゃないかみたいな部分もあるみたいで、結構複雑な、出自だったみたいで、一緒に生まれたヘレンと、彼女でうり二つな存在、イブが彼女と間違えられたというそっくりさん、要は双子なんですかね。双子の片割れは養子に出された養子なのかな。とりあえず本当の親から離されて、彼女は、義母のもとに託されることになって育てられてずっと来ていたと。 まあそんなことがありました。実際はどうなっていくのかっていう部分はやりながらやりますかね。ちょっとだんだん内容がわかんなくなってきました。ごちゃごちゃなんでね、メモが結構膨大な量になってしまいました。今日もまあメモ取りつつやっていきたいと思います。じゃあ、実験の方に参りましょう。はい。あ、メモ帳どこに置いたらいいんだろう。これいいか。よいしょ。はい、じゃあやっていきましょう。この検索ワードにワードを入れると、ここの動画が出てくると。で、まあ、マークが動画のどっちか右上か左上にマークがついているものは、まだ見ていないものだったりするので、それを見ていく感じですね。まあ、一回検索したものとかこうやって、検索履歴に出るので、まあ、検索まだしてないよとかもうしたよっていうのに役立つ感じですね。まあ、PC 画面もいろいろとあったりなかったりっぽいので、ここら辺もなんか関係してるのかなと。サウスイースト、コンスタブラリー。ここら辺もよくわかんないですね。時計、22年6月16日。はい。前回ちょっと終わった後に思いついて、もう一回調べたんですけど、そうですね。何もない状態での検索っていうのは実はできてたんですね。これたらまあ2件見てないのがありましたと。だ多分これが時系列の一番最初の5つになるんじゃないのかなっていうのがありますね。で、動画が全部で271個。なので、もしかしたらこれが始まりの5つになるのかもしれないです。閲覧履歴、この、動画の閲覧は、ここに出た最初の5個までしか閲覧できないので、クリップが6個以上の場合は、別のワードを使って絞り込んだりしないといけないっていう、結構シビアな感じになってますね。じゃあ1個目見てきますか。
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
一番最初、何か飲みますかみたいな部分なのかな。シンプルですね。はい、次こちら。27秒ある。
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And bought a photo instead of spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
ほうほうほう。これは多分、旦那さんの行方不明になった時の話なんですね。一番最初はこの、94年6月18日、これが、行方不明になったっていう聴取の時のやつですね。多分これは、旦那さんはじゃあ、行方不明になってる旦那さんはどんな人なんですかっていう部分を多分聞いてるんだと思いますね。で、写真っていうのは多分、旦那さんの顔写真ってことなんですね。なんで去年の分しかないんだろう。今年撮らなかったんかいっていうね。部分ですね。じゃあ実際に検索をしていきましょうということなんですけども、もう一回開いちゃったんでね、どれを調べていけばいいかなっていう部分なんですね。 口論とか喧嘩とかそういうワードって調べたかな。ああ、調べてますね。口論は一回調べてますね。で、時計とかも多分調べたんですよね、おそらくは。時計ってのは、なんか事件のトリックに使われているみたいなお話らしいのですが、そこら辺はまあ一切触れられてないので、なんかそんなに重要でもないのかなって思ってます。イブに関しても、わからない単語があったりとか、で、あと、動画を何個か見ていくと、背景が、このモニターの背景が明滅して、謎の顔が浮かび上がったりするんで、そこだけびっくり要素ですね。それで犯行の時に私たちって言ってたんですね。私たちのアイディアって言ってたんですけども。犯人じゃないですね。違うね。殴るのオーダーのオなんか出ましたね。これが、94年7月3日。これですね、これが一番最後の取り調べの日付で、ここでなんか、疑われていた部分からだんだん確信に迫っていったっぽい内容なんですね。では、動画見ていきましょう。54秒あるね。
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. But she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snapped a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
奇妙な話ですね。花は確か花と彼女が売り二つで、まあ結構一心同体みたいな感じだったんですかね。なんかサイモンを殺したのもその部分が関係ありそうな感じですね。
This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing and she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
すごいバイオレンスな関係ですね。花は一回検索したので、そうですね、出ちゃうんですね。19個、花に関する動画がありますと。で、イブに関しては、7個。 双子。おっと
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
怖い怖い怖い怖い。
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
なんでこんな断片的なの？
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
やっぱり傍から見ても多分花と彼女は双子っぽい関係というか見た目なんでしょうね、おそらく。なので多分ダリア双子だろっていうことで、はって感じなんですよね。ここら辺が、離婚。離婚はそんなに重要じゃない。結婚。結構見てないのありますね。
A long time. We got married when I was 17.
17歳で結婚。今、次、はい。
Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective?
何やこの人。
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
まあでもこういうのも見てった方がいいんだろうな。もうちょい確信に迫った方がいいのかな。なんでギター持ってんのこの人。
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay? Probably needs tuning. No, it's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain.
急に歌うよ。
Eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son.Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
まで歌っとんねん。めっちゃこの動画関係ないやんけ。他にお水飲みます。わー、パチパチパチパチ。はい。なんなんはい、次行きましょう。
Mum and Dad never knew what was going on and got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There were lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
やっぱ双子じゃん。もうそっくりとかそういうワードは出ないんだね。トリック違うか。これも調べたか。
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
疑われている段階のやつですね。コロで調べると結構出るね。
Suicide? No. I mean, he would never do anything like that. He is not the kind of person to do anything like that. I mean, to hurt himself? No. When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
まあ一番近い人間だから疑われるのはそれは仕方がないことです。ただまあねもう犯人は分かってるんで。凶器違う、その凶器でこの凶器でもいいけど。なあとないか。弾幕。
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him? Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
Mm. なかなか確信に迫らないですね。さす。お、2個出ました。
He has a wallet, a huge silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in, if he's in the house. We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Oh. 歪んでらっしゃる。髪。おっと、またギター弾いてる。もう見たくないんだが。
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. But she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
結構ラプンツェルの話が絡んでくるよね。子供の頃の記憶みたいですけど。
What kind of hairs?
どんな髪の毛？1分48秒。よし、引かないな。
Really? Okay. Here's the rest.
引かせてる。
Fiddler with a fiddle came walking by on a dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair on the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair on a dreadful wind and memory. Yes, the only tune that the field could play was all the dreadful wind and rain.
I don't think you said maybe use this evidence against you.
なんでこの人こんなノリノリで弾いてるんでしょうっていうのがすごく疑問で仕方なんだけども、ギターが問題なの？ギターが問題あるの？
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar.
はい？
He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf.
あ、嫌な予感がしてきたんだけど、気のせいかな。これ、日付によって人入れ替わってね？もしかして。
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
めっちゃ嫌な予感がしてきた。どうなんだろ
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help? Yeah, that's me. But yes, yeah, it's my good. I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
なるほど。やっぱり入れ替わりはしてたのね。大事な場面でも。なんか花の設定がだんだんわかんなくなってきました。
My name is Hannah. Hannah. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street. When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry. Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Flo.
これが
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate.
あれ
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards. It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks. Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things. Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing. Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do? Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much. It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
今だいぶ前回と同じ道筋をなぞってる気がするけど。
Simon is 6 foot. This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
そんなことはないですね。そうか、もしかして、ハナ・スミスは実は妹ではない？
My name is Hannah. H
何回同じの見てんだ
N N A H is palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea.
たまたま同じスミスってだけ？
Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
サイモンはどこに住んでるって書いてあったんだろう？
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things.
まあちょっと、ひとまとめしますと、要は、彼女と、花は、双子である可能性が今のところ高いのかな。でまあ昔から、そっくりなことを理由に、入れ替わったりとかをしてたっていうところもあって、で、多分趣味とか感情の起伏とかほぼ、シンクロしていて、多分サイモンのことも、2人とも好きになってしまったっていう経緯があるんでしょう。で、どうなんだろう。一回妊娠して、流れちゃった人と、今回、妊娠が発覚して言おうとした人は別人物なのかな。って感じですね。で、妊娠したのは花だったと。結構出るね。
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. The miscarriage and then my parents. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck. Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
片方は流産して子供が産めない状態になった。だけどもう一人は妊娠しちゃいましたと。
Hannah had a miscarriage.
じゃあ流産したのは花なんだね。
It left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then...
やっぱ兄ではないな。ハナ・スミスなのはその時の名残ってこと？で、 うーん。さすがにないか。何があるだろうね。浮気。おー、いいね。7個あったよ。しかも全部見てない。
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine. An affair. Simon wasn't having an affair. No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon. Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday. Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. You do what you can. Diana's really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there. Yeah, that's me. But February, and that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder? Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
どっちがどっちだか分からなかったんですけど、これ片方は左腕にタトゥーをしてるんですね。こっちがしてる人で、こっちがしてない人か。こっちがしてる人か。
That's me. But February, and that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Ah, 何これ。 トチャット。何、時間制限があんの？お、こんなのまである。データベースチェッカー。DB344A、1個のファイルが見つかりません。怖っ。ちょっと待って、まだこんなにあんの？これ、怖いなぁ。なんだろう、ホラーだよね、ある意味。あー。この SB さんっていうさっきのチャットで送ってきた人もいるけど、この人もなんか噛んでるんだね。これイブってのが彼女なのではってちょっと思ってきたんだけど、そうするとどうなんだ？
Well, my friend Eve. Well, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate.
違うのかな？
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it. Hurt someone? Yes. But everyone thinks that from time to time, right? You just want to lash out. Yes. I'll take a lie detector test.
これでテストをしてたのか。この変な格好は嘘発見器のやつだったのね。
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work?
本当だよ。嘘発見器って結構あれわかんないよね、正確さが。
That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works.
嘘発見器で名前を間違えたっていう部分で、嘘が発覚してる。なんでこの人は花ではない。多分イブだと思う。推定イブの人だね。だから彼女なんだよね、多分。本来のメインの。真相って何だろう。騙す。おお。伝える。
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy, but I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
ってことは、花とサイモンが付き合っているところ、やっと本来の関係になれた、推定イブさんと、サイモンが寝たところを1回目で無事妊娠しましたと。そしたら、伝えようとしたところ、まあ、本当のことを知っているサイモンと、イブだと反応が、じゃあサイモンとハナだと反応が違うのかな。あと何調べればいいんだろう。報告じゃ出ないか。なんだろう。ギフタ語は調べたもんね。姉が調べたかな。姉も関係ないのか、姉妹だから。生き別れ生き別れ生き別れとか必要ないか。別結構出ますね。
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
つわりがあったのいつの日だっけ。その人は多分推定イブの人だよね。
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I guess she broke the rules.
ここら辺全部さっきの伏線だよね、ほぼほぼ。
She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something
悪い
bad.
ことをして追われている。
I guess
ルールを破った。要は花だよね。
Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity.
イブに間違えられたのかっていう話。
Did they catch her there? I don't know.
もしかしてイブは全く関係なくて 花とサイモンがその場で口論になって殺しちゃったのを帰ってきて目撃しちゃったのではっていうのもありそうだよね。
No, I was 15. Carl was older, 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. Stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family. Family. So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
Yeah.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush.
えぐいえぐいえぐい。
After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
関係が強烈すぎる。そんなこともやっちゃいます。怖いわ。
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
さっき15と17って言ってて、で、15の時になんやかんやをやっちゃったっていうのがあったから、そっから2年ぐらいかね。長い時間が、時系列が長い。カールのお話もうちょっと聞ける？聞いてもしょうがない気がするんだけど。ないね。はい。写真のやつ、取り調べのやつ見てみる？これ違うな。
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV. Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car. Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. A child. But if you looked at the photo, the train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car. He's an only child, so it was important. Photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child.
17の時だから、この人が花？ダメだ、なんかここ上がってきました。Part2.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
リンゴとヘビって宗教的なあれとあれなりでしょ？
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist. He saw me singing one of my shows, pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was, but he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
お まあそのサイモンとハナが結婚してから、イブは一人ぼっちになってすさんで、でイブは痩せこけていく一方で変わらないままなのに、ハナは、いわゆる幸せの、なんだろう、象徴みたいな感じになっちゃって、でも流産とかもしてボロボロで、そんな中、多分バーのことかな、あの例の最初の方に言ってたバーの方で歌ってたかなんかしたのを、ね、見つけて、昔の花みたいだったからお話しして付き合ってみたいな感じだったのかな。ね、ドッペルゲンガーかと思ったのかもしれないし。だよね、事故の証明はそうか、事故の証明だからやっぱりイブなんじゃないかな、この人が。で、イブの話をして生きてんのが花ってことになるのかな。生きてると言っちゃダメだね。はい。ってことで、あとはなんか調べられることあるかな。タトゥーは調べたから、メガネだけで結構なんか出そう。出ないか。メガネも2種類あるからね、検索って。
His body didn't look real. His throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear them.
あれ、さっきメガネのことなんて言ったんだっけ。というかメガネを分けちゃうのはいかんよね。
No, he doesn't have any tattoos past his hip. But he needs. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant.
とりあえず喉を切り裂かれてるってすごいね。喉、あれ、さっき見る。
Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you? It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
ね、横領じゃん。
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
同じ。
cat should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in two places at once. We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway. No cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it. Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect? This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions about me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
疑いと疑うとか。疑う。それでもあれだね、疑惑とかなのかな疑問とか疑惑。
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
習って全然頭の内容が入ってこない。
There was something in the food too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to.
でもダグとエレノアの死因が食中毒だって言われてんのか。毒キノコを食わされて死んだみたいな。ダグとエレノアに関してはもう一通り見ちゃったよね。時間ここだけ見てない。
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there. アリバイも確か見たよね。トリックもさっき見たと。これ1個だけある。 Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic. They just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. Mum was amazed.
屋根裏は11個あるんだよね。
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body. I... ああ、これ関連まだあるんだね。 In the bedroom? That can't be right. In the bedroom?
いや、同じでしょ。内容一緒のもの残すなや。
I sleep on the right side of the bed. As you come in from the door, you can tell because I have 2 pillows and he just has 1.
義母っていう単語は使ってなかったよね、確か。母っていう単語しか使ってなかったよね。イブの方の母親の名前って出てたかな。やっぱグレース・ケリーって何なんだろうね。占い師っていうのを前回言われてたけど、出ないね。グラスゴーも前回調べた。グラスガオーのちょっと、病院も確か調べたかな。ここら辺は前回ですね。この場合は多分病院だからイブだと思うんですよね。イブが車をグラスゴーに向けて走らせてて、まあ途中で気分が悪くなって寝ていたか休憩したかで寝ていて、で起きた後にサイモンに電話したらサイモンは電話に出ないってことで、帰り道にタクシーかなんかと接触事故を起こしたのかな。で一応車の方は無事だったし問題もなかったんだけど、タクシーの運転手が、妊婦さんだからってことで病院に連れてってくれたという証言をしていましたので、多分まあ現在妊娠しているのはイブだから、イブなんじゃないのかっていう状態だね。その時花が何をしていたかに関してはまあまた別の話になるのかな。
I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on a peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
っていう話。これが意味が変わってくるのかな。タタタン、ずっとこれだよ。
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more.
15時50分。これが、15時52分。なので、言ってることがぐっちゃぐちゃですよね。なんで花のことなんか話すのってイブが言うっていう。じゃあなんでイブのことなんか話すのっていうのを花が言うみたいな話ですよね。この時はまだ、この人がまだ花って呼ばれてたのかな。だよね、多分この人普通に
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H.
なんか勘違いしてたけど、この人が花だったんだよね。
It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work from Eric though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
だよね。私はハナ・スミスですっていう話だよね。で、グラッドストーンに住んでますと。で、この人は誰なんだ？二重人格じゃないよね。そんなことないよね。人格違うね。心理テストもうないね。なんだろう。もう一個ぐらいなんか見たいですよね。想像。おい、大丈夫か聞かないだろうな。17秒大丈夫、OK。
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
なるほど。一応エリックも疑われてたんだね。
Can you imagine? I tried. I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? Felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
まあイブが勝手にサイモンと寝たっていう裏切りに対して結構イブは根に持ってるね裏切り。いろいろとある。はい。抜け駆けとか。それもないか。勝手に。鏡。これだけある。じゃあこれ最後ですね。
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since. His body. I did not really. He wasn't present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been a princess would have.
この時には鏡にプレゼントしてくれたって言ったけど、こっちの時は鏡の置いてある場所はわからないっていうことを言ってるんだね。なんだろう、いろいろ解像度は上がってきたんだけども、全然一向に真実にたどり着かない感。あと多分足りてないのは、現状どっちがどっちなんだっていうのと、トリックっていう部分かな。本当はどっちが殺したんだろうっていう部分がさっぱりわからない状態ですね、今のところは。さあ、そしてお時間がいい時間ですよということで、本日はこれまでですね。本当はもう今日終わっちゃうかなと思ったんですけども、全然終わらないですね。なんでまあ次回に引き続きって感じです。いいですね。シリーズものをまたちょっとまとめていって、多分もう次あたりで多分、クリアできるんじゃないのかなと思うんですけども、でいきましょうね。今日分かったこと、まず、花と、彼女とイブっていう3人がいると思ってたんですけど、実際は、花とイブがで、2人いると。で、まあ花は多分恵まれた方の人で、イブは、いないものとされている人みたいな感じの扱いになっていて、屋根裏部屋でも、そうですね、花の家の屋根裏部屋でなんかいろいろやっていたっていうのもなんか語られていたと。で、まあ、サイモンは、花とイブ両方と付き合ったことがあるのかな。とりあえずまあ、2回とも寝て、2人とも、1回でゴールを決めたということで、 で、花が流産をしました。で、イブが現在妊娠中。で、その妊娠にかこつけて何か問題が起こった。サイモンを妊娠に関して、サイモンに告げようとした状態の時に、花かイブどっちかが何かを起こしたっていう感じですかね。で、そのトリックとか何なのかみたいな部分はちょっとわからないと。はい。なんかちょっとだんだん重い話になってきましたけどね、本日いかがだったでしょうか。配信の方は恒例で終了になりますね。お疲れ様でした。よろしければチャンネル登録と評価ボタン、Twitter の登録などお願いいたします。それでは次回の配信でまたお会いしましょう。お相手は月見たちでした。それではまた。